WB.
Tonight on Newswatch.
Everybody should try to stay indoors.
Engulfed in smoke, nearly 75 million Americans, including Southeast Ohio, are blanketed by smoke from wildfires in Canada. Plus, students in Zanesville explore opportunities after high school. And it's Pride Month. We speak with an organizer about this year's events. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Connor Woodruff. Welcome to Newswatch. Wildfires in Canada continue to impact air quality levels in Southeast Ohio. The pollution levels across the region remain unhealthy for sensitive groups. The light winds today helped to disperse the smoke, but also continue to carry it into our region. The Environmental Protection Agency's index for reporting air quality, called AQI, runs from 0 to 500. The higher the number, the greater the health concern. The air quality is considered unhealthy for sensitive groups when AQI levels reach above 100. Today's AQI rating for the regions are between 80 and 100. And it's not just Southeast Ohio. From New York to Detroit to the Carolinas, more than 55 million people in the U.S. are under air quality alerts as wildfire smoke from Canada blankets a big section of the country. Karen Kafa reports from Washington, one of the cities with the unhealthy air today.
In New York City, the nation's capital, west to Detroit and down to North Carolina, millions of Americans are under alert for unhealthy air quality conditions as Canadian wildfire smoke floats a mix of pollutants through U.S. skies.
It affects every part of the airway system from the nose all the way down to the lungs.
So experts say take caution.
When the air quality is this bad, everybody should try to stay indoors.
Especially those with pre-existing conditions that impact the heart and lungs. Dr. Afif El Hassan is a pediatrician and spokesperson for the American Lung Association.
Make sure that you anticipate ahead of time if you need specific medications, especially inhalers for asthmatics.
With more than 9 million acres charred by Canadian wildfires so far this year, Dr. John Balmes of the University of California, San Francisco and UC Berkeley says the eastern U.S. should anticipate future air quality concerns like the West does.
This is a wake-up call for those in the East Coast about what is in store for the future. These wildfires are going to continue to be a problem.
And Dr. El Hassan says to play it safe for a few days after this haze clears.
The air can still be polluted and have a large number of particles in it for many days after the fires. So it would be important to monitor the air quality in your area before you decide to go outside and do a lot of outdoor activities.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Here with more on what we can expect from the rest of the week is Newswatch forecaster Emily Dietz. Emily, can we expect more hazy skies for the rest of the week?
Well, we'll definitely be seeing a little bit of haze more going into the rest of the day today as well as tomorrow. We saw a bit of a cold front passing through, and that's kind of directing the winds and how they're affecting the smoke coming into our area. So that's kind of why we're seeing that smoke blow in, even though it's hundreds of miles away from us. But as the week goes on, that cold front's kind of going to pass us a little bit, so it might start to clear up. But as you just heard, those particles are still going to remain around a little bit. But for right now in Athens, it's really nice outside as far as temperatures go. It's about 75 with clear skies. So today was very similar to what we saw yesterday. We've seen a lot of conditions in the 70s this week. It's been very comfortable outside. We're going to continue to see a similar trend throughout the next couple of days, but that will be changing a little bit this weekend. Now, as you may know, we've had an air quality alert for a good portion of Ohio from those wildfires up in Canada. Now, here looking at this map, you can see a lot of them are sprouting up near Nova Scotia area, and we have this jet stream which has been pulling a lot of that cold front down and really driving those winds, which has been pulling that smoke down into Ohio. Alongside that, we also have a low pressure system over Maine, which has been swirling even more wind. So this map is showing a lot of that smoke throughout the atmosphere and is really showing a good description of how this wind is moving. And so we can see right across central Ohio, that's where a lot of this pocket is, but we're still seeing a lot of that. So you'll continue to see throughout the night and the next morning a little bit of haze. That sunset and sunrise will still continue to look a little bit weird. That sun will still be pretty orange, weird little disc in the sky. But over the past 24 hours, we've also been watching that cold front as it's moved through. So that cold air mass is starting to sink in from Canada, driven by a little bit of high pressure going on up north. So hopefully that'll also help drive out some of the smoke as we move through the rest of this week. Now, since the smoke particles are a little bit heavier than more air, those will continue to linger around a little bit. So we'll still see a couple of clouds and a little bit of that smoke. Over the past 24 hours, we've also watched those conditions overnight drop into the 40s. So it was another chilly night overnight. We picked back up to the 70s. So in Athens, it was about 77, whereas in Lancaster, Zanesville, and Newark, it was about 73. So overall, a pretty comfortable day today. We're going to continue to see this sort of trend as we move throughout the rest of this week. But on Saturday, that'll change. I'll talk a bit more about that later. But overnight tonight will be the coldest night we'll see this week, down to 42. So it's pretty chilly out there, and we'll still see some clear skies as far as clouds go, but that haze will still be there. Stay tuned for my full forecast, where we'll talk about some rain that we're actually looking at the forecast this weekend and even into the beginning of next week. Back over to you, Connor.
Thanks, Emily. Businesses in Athens can now apply for grants to increase accessibility. Businesses seeking accessibility improvements such as door openers, braille menus, or ramps can apply for up to $15,000 in funding. Funding will be matched by the City of Athens if the project is approved by the Athens City Commission on Disabilities. Businesses can apply on the city's website. Applications are being accepted through June 30th. The Muskingum County Sheriff's Office is closing the Canine Adoption Center due to multiple reports of illness at the center. Sheriff Matt Lutz says over the past 3 weeks, 5 dogs have come down with an unknown illness. 4 dogs have died because of the disease. The facility's population has been at overcapacity for nearly a month. The sheriff's office says tests have been run to determine the illness, but results have not come back yet. Until they can verify the cause of the illness, the sheriff's office says the facility will remain closed. The Ohio Senate Finance Committee releases its version of the state's new 2-year budget. Republican Senate President Matt Huffman says this budget makes some innovative changes. The budget restores some of the funding for mental health services and educationer Governor Mike DeWine wanted. It also funds a new funding plan for public schools to reduce their reliance on property tax and phases out some of the money districts receive if students choose to attend private schools. The Senate budget also creates a 2-week state sales tax holiday in August for many tangible goods. And the budget includes $15 million for the upcoming planned August election. Meanwhile, advocates for food assistance services in the state worry the Senate's budget would cut funding for key programs. Lisa Hamler-Fugit with the Ohio Association of Food Banks says the Senate proposal cuts funding for the programs, including the expansion of school breakfasts and lunches. Fugit says the move is, quote, short-sighted and would only help the wealthiest Ohioans by cutting their taxes, end quote. In the House, a similar budget was passed, but it put more funding toward food assistance programs. Senate President Matt Huffman says some of the changes were made to safeguard the future funding for programs like food banks. The Senate is expected to vote on the budget next week. Coming up after the break, middle school students in Muskingum County are learning about career opportunities this week. Plus, residents in East Palestine are getting answers from top government officials.
Winds are shifting a little bit, changing our weather up for this upcoming week. What we can expect to see the rest of this week and this weekend when Newswatch returns.
Forever, forever, you'll stay in my heart and I will. What do you get when you fall in love?
Join us and watch Burt Bacharach and a stellar lineup of artists interpreting Bacharach's best-known music.
The world needs now. Do you know the way to San Jose?
The chance to live.
Watch Burt Bacharach, A Life in Song.
Friday at 8:30 on WOUB.
Memory is one of the most important functions of the brain, and problems with it are becoming increasingly more common. In Memory Makeover, I'm going to give you the strategies you need to enhance your memory now and to reverse trouble in the future.
Saturday at 2:30 on WOUB.
In the spring of 2020, as the country goes into lockdown, outside the garden is coming alive. As a wildlife filmmaker, I knew there were revelations here that could be just as amazing as anything I'd ever filmed.
These bees that just go, you know.
Discovering the secret life of bees took me on a journey I was not expecting.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
The music of Kenny Rogers has touched millions worldwide. And in 2017, a superstar lineup took the stage in Nashville. It's an incredible tribute to a musical legend. Kenny Rogers Farewell Concert Celebration.
Thursday at 8 on WOUB.
Just over 24 middle school students in Muskingum County are spending the week exploring what opportunities they could have after finishing high school. But the camp offers more than just career possibilities. It also offers some real life lessons.
November.
November?
November.
Thinking outside the box is the lesson in this session at the Career Connections Camp at Ohio University, Zanesville. But the fun and games have a deeper lesson for the 25 black middle school students from the Zanesville area taking part in the camp.
Black people are definitely a minority in southeastern Ohio and in Zanesville.
Run by the Muskingum County Social Justice Coalition, the camp aims to empower students to see a world of possibilities.
I want them to understand that they are not defined by their blackness, that even though the color of skin may be darker in pigmentation, it doesn't mean that they are limited to what they can accomplish.
The week-long camp includes visits to 3 different college campuses and sessions with people in different professions.
I learned a lot about the different opportunities I have and things I can do with my life.
The camp facilitators want these kids to experience a real sense of community, a space to have real conversations about their life experiences.
So they have a lot more power and potential than they think.
Lessons the camp's organizers hope will set the students up for future success. Career Connections Camp will be wrapping up this Friday with the graduation ceremony, and organizers plan to hold more events with the students throughout the year. 4 months after a train derailed in East Palestine, residents are getting more answers to what chemicals spilled from the train. The Environmental Protection Agency, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry held a town hall in the city. The agencies are joining forces in an effort to be more transparent with the public on cleanup efforts and health concerns. Many residents at the meeting expressed their concerns about the efficiency of the EPA's water and soil testing. EPA Community Response Coordinator Mike Durano says he understands the public's concerns.
But, we try to assure them that the samples that we're collecting show that the primary contaminants of concern are volatile organics. They don't hang around long.
A majority of soil underneath the tracks has been removed, and over 20 billion gallons of contaminated water have been removed from the site. A fake charity is ordered to pay off over $100,000 to East Palestine residents. The fake charity, Ohio Clean Water Fund, must turn over more than $130,000 in pocketed donations. The charity claimed the money went toward bottled water and emergency aid to residents following the train derailment in February. The food bank had not given OCWF permission to fundraise on its behalf, and Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost revealed the fake charity donated only $10,000 to the food bank. The Attorney General's office plans to distribute the recovered funds to the state beneficiary, Second Harvest Food Bank.
Good evening. Happy Wednesday. We are halfway through the week with some very, very comfortable conditions outside, about 75 right now with clear skies. We've seen temperatures sit around the 70s for most of this week. We'll see a little bit change later this week moving into Saturday. But overall, we saw a high of about 75, and tonight will be a low of about 42, so pretty chilly outside, but we also had sunny skies. Even though it did seem a little bit hazy outside, that's not due to clouds, that's due to the wildfires up in Canada. That smoke, even though it's hundreds of miles away, is being blown down into Ohio, and a lot of Ohio is currently under an air quality alert. So be advised if you go outside, because the air may be a little bit difficult to breathe. Now, these wildfires are sitting up in northeast Canada, and we have a couple things going on that are influencing why we're seeing the smoke down here. Now, first was this jet stream with associated cold front with it. Now, we've seen a little bit of the effect of the cold front with a little drop in temperatures and some clouds moving in, but that's also changing the wind direction. Now, this map is showing wind throughout the atmosphere and how that smoke is sort of moving, so it's a really clear example of how we can really see this change. And we also have a low pressure system currently spinning up around Maine. Now, it's driving these winds to sort of circulate up around here, and that's why New York is seeing a lot of this area. So here you can really see a sort of channel going through, and it's really thick up in New York. There are reports of ash falling on cars. Unfortunately for us in Ohio, we don't have to experience any of that. We just have a little bit of smoke going through, which we're hoping to clear later this week as this cold front and that jet stream start to make its way down south. Now here you can really see the way that that wind is moving and sort of that dropping pattern, that troughing pattern starting to take shape, and a lot of this circulation going on really driving that wind. Now here we also had a couple clouds pop in throughout the day today, or excuse me, throughout the day yesterday, and that's a lot from that cold front as well. We really just saw the edge of it, so no rain was really super associated with that, fortunately, but there is a little bit of rain this upcoming weekend. Tonight, however, we'll see clear skies. There still might be a little bit of haze going on outside from those wildfires, but we'll have a low of 42, so it'll be pretty chilly tonight, chilliest night we've had this week. Tomorrow we'll continue to monitor this drop of that cold front, and we might see a couple of clouds come in from that low pressure that won't really be producing any rain, but we'll also have temperatures about 72, so it'll still be a bit chilly, still the effects from that, but it'll start to warm up overnight into 48, so it'll be a little bit warmer than tonight, but overall still not too warm. On Friday, we'll see a drop of that high pressure, which was helping to drive that cold front and everything down into our area, clearing skies just a little bit and warming things up. So Friday, we'll see a high of 76, pretty comfortable, and overnight in 49. So still in the 40s, but by Saturday, we're looking at about 82, so it's really starting to warm up. But moving into next week, starting on Sunday, there is a 60% chance of showers due to a low pressure system starting to spin up. I'll keep you all updated this week with what we can expect next week. Back over to you, Connor.
Thanks, Emily. Safe Swim for All LLC is having swim lessons for children with disabilities all this week. The program helps to combat the #1 cause of death in children with disabilities, drowning. While children with disabilities are often turned away from swim lessons, Safe Swim allows each child to be paired with 2 designated instructors. The instructors work to create specified goals for the child based on their needs. Director of the Safe Swim for All, Gianna Petrella, talks about opportunities the program offers.
Disabilities are able to be safe around the water, and they're able to experience the water with their family and friends, because there's actually nothing like it here.
The swim lessons help children have fun while accomplishing their goals. The program is halfway through the session, and Petrella says the kids have done great so far. How teens and tweens feel about their bodies can affect their mental health, and experts say this time of year can be hard on anyone who struggles with the way they look. Mandy Gaither has ways parents can promote positive body images this summer.
As the weather warms up, shorts, swimsuits, and other summer clothing come out. For those who struggle with body image, this time of year can be hard. Social media with filtered pictures and videos can add to poor body image, says psychologist Erin McTiernan with Nationwide Children's Hospital. That's why McTiernan says.
After the break, we speak with a Southeastern Ohio Rainbow Alliance member about this year's Pride Fest. And to stay up to date on the latest from Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
In the spring of 2020, as the country goes into lockdown, outside, the garden is coming alive. As a wildlife filmmaker, I knew there were revelations here that could be just as amazing as anything I'd ever filmed.
These bees that just go, you know.
Discovering the secret life of bees took me on a journey I was not expecting.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
There's some of the best railway adventures in America.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Offering luxury service, incredible views, and a unique experience.
It gives people a chance to relax.
It's a nostalgic look.
Look how big it is. It's huge.
At these one-of-a-kind trains.
It's like traveling back in time.
The golden age of train travel.
On great scenic railway journeys.
Saturday at 8 on WOUB.
Memory is one of the most important functions of the brain, and problems with it are becoming increasingly more common. In Memory Makeover, I'm going to give you the strategies you need to enhance your memory now and to reverse trouble in the future.
Saturday at 2:30 on WOUB.
We're now just a little over 5 decades after the Stonewall riots. Pride Month celebrations continue in different parts of the country this month. Here in Athens, Ohio, the Southeastern Ohio Rainbow Alliance is gearing up for the Athens Pride Fest set for this weekend. To give us more information on the event is the Executive Director, Chris Neville. Thank you for joining us, Chris, and happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Glad to be here.
Great. So why was it important for the Southeast Ohio Rainbow Alliance to organize this year's Pride Fest?
Well, we've organized it now for about 6 years, and so we also know that now more than ever it's very important to have these very inclusive events for everybody.
And just what are some of the activities planned out for this weekend?
So we've got a lot of things going on for just about every age. We've got a Pride Shuffle on Friday ending in a dance party. Saturday morning we have a parade going down Court Street. Saturday evening a drag show at Eclipse. Sunday we have a family field day where we will serve free food and have bouncy houses. And Sunday evening we have a pool party at the Athens City Pool.
Wow. And what kind of impact do you think this will have on the people of Southeast Ohio, especially in the Athens area?
Well, a lot of people, since the events are free, a lot of times we hear that people can't go to the pool because they can't afford it. So we're really happy that we can rent the pool out and allow everybody in for free. Also, we're glad to be able to provide a meal for everybody. It definitely points, how important it is around this area. A lot of people are food insecure, so even being able to provide that meal for them is great.
Mm-hmm. It's been 7 years since the Rainbow Alliance was started. What are just a few of the milestones you all have achieved?
Well, COVID put a little bit of a dent in our plans, so I'm sure it did everybody, but some of the biggest things we've done is our Pride Fest continues to grow and grow and grow every year, and so we're really happy about that, and that's what we're very proud of to continue doing, and we're looking forward to the future, to growing and getting bigger and better.
And how many annual events do you all hold?
It really depends. Like I mentioned to you earlier, we're a very small group of only about 5 or 6 people. And volunteers are, come and go kind of deal. So it's kind of whatever we can fit in, but we try to at least have an event or two every month.
Mm-hmm. And what is your organization's? I mean, in the long term, what is what's your goal for the LGBT community?
So the goal for SEORA is and will always be to have a physical resource center in southeastern Ohio to serve our community, where people can come, be accepted, and not have to worry about anything. That is our goal and will continue to be our goal until we reach it.
That's wonderful. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. For more information on the Athens Pride Fest and other upcoming events from the Rainbow Alliance, go to www.seorainbow.org. And when we return, NASA is sending a new spacecraft into space this fall. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
The music of Kenny Rogers has touched millions worldwide. And in 2017, a superstar lineup took the stage in Nashville. It's an incredible tribute to a musical legend. Kenny Rogers Farewell Concert Celebration.
Thursday at 8 on WOUB.
Join us and watch Burt Bacharach and a stellar lineup of artists interpreting Bacharach's best-known music.
The world needs now. Do you know the way to San Jose? The chance to live.
Watch Burt Bacharach, A Life in Song.
Friday at 8:30 on WOUB.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
Memory is one of the most important functions of the brain, and problems with it are becoming increasingly more common. In Memory Makeover, I'm going to give you the strategies you need to enhance your memory now and to reverse trouble in the future.
Saturday at 2:30 on WOUB.
Finally tonight, a NASA spacecraft designed to study a metallic asteroid named Psyche is set to launch in October. The Psyche mission will embark on a nearly 6-year journey to reach the asteroid. It will then orbit the potato-shaped asteroid for 26 months. Some scientists believe Psyche is the exposed core of a planet in the making. Collisions with other objects over time may have stripped away its outer layers. This mission was delayed for months because of an issue with its flight software.
A quick look at some weather for tonight. We're expecting a chilly night tonight, about 42-degree low with clear skies. Now you might still see a little bit of haze from those wildfires up in Canada. We are under an air quality alert. The majority of Ohio is as well, due to a lot of that smoke coming down, and a lot of that's driven by that jet stream and cold front. Those atmospheric winds are really pushing that towards Ohio, and that low pressure currently sitting over Maine is just kind of swirling things around and pushing things through. So New York is really seeing a lot of this. It's really hazy out there, and we're just seeing the edge of it, fortunately for us, and we are expecting to see a little bit of that start to lighten up the rest of this week as those winds continue to change. But tomorrow we'll see mostly sunny skies with a high of 72, so we'll still see the effects of that cold front a little bit, but overnight that temperature will begin to pick up a little bit with a low of 48. Now the rest of this week is looking kind of nice until we reach Sunday, where we have a 60% chance of showers, as well as Monday another 60% chance of showers due to an incoming low pressure system, from the west that'll move in, providing us with some rain that we've needed for a little bit now. And those temperatures will continue to be comfortable in the 70s, pop up to 80s a little bit, but still quite lovely.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. For Emily Dietz, I'm Connor Woodruff. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night.
Join us and watch Burt Bacharach